Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am your girl, Molinda Jae, and I'm here to talk about the Lisa Presley documentary or investigation that TMZ had presented to us. Now, it premiered on the Tuesday evening, so that was like the 20. No, it may have been the 30th. It may have been 30th of January, because yesterday was Lisa Marie's birthday. Okay, it's a lot. Okay, I called it tragedy, trauma, and turmoil because not only there is history repeating itself between her and her father, but with her attempting or thinking about or having thoughts of doing the same thing as her son did a couple years back, and just all the events that was leading up to the demise in the passing of Miss Lisa Marie Presley. So I want to start off because I tried to rewrite these notes and I was too tired. So there's like 4 pages of notes because I want to know about these things, especially since she is a woman of her stature with a famous family, with her father being Elvis Presley and with him being married to Priscilla Presley. It's just mind-boggling that, you know, unfortunately the daughter went out before the mother. I mean, not to go all on the wayside, but when the reports came out of Lisa Marie's passing, I was like, is the mama still living? So I had to look it up. And I was like, oh, she's still living. She's only 77 years old. I'm like, oh, in a year or 7. So again, follow me. Okay, follow me, y'all. But yes, the mother is still living, and of course the mother has to deal with, you know, bearing her only child. Now, keep in mind, since she has lost not only her ex-husband, and I'm talking about Priscilla Presley, not only she lost her ex-husband, but she lost her daughter. So in the as that had unfolded in the back of my mind, I'm like, note, keep your eyes on Priscilla Presley. Okay, keep your eye on Priscilla Presley. Okay, because I know that's a lot, not only for the average person, but I know it's a lot on her because there was, of course, a lot of things that unfolded as she became who she became. All right, so it started off with 2 days prior. Okay, they talked about 2 days prior, which was of course they went, excuse me, let me revert back. So they gave some key points before they actually started the series. One was she was found unconscious in her bedroom by her housekeeper. So her housekeeper found her in the rented mansion in California. I believe it was Calabasas in my scribble notes. And by the time her ex-husband came home from dropping the twin daughters off at school, because I thought they were college students because they was talking about drop off kids, but they're only 14 years old. So I'm like, ugh. So yeah, that's when the ex-husband took over and talked to the dispatcher because the house speaker is obviously bilingual. Okay, so the question that came into mind was, how long has it been without her having no pulse and oxygen? Those are the key factors. Okay, besides her mental standpoint, which I can definitely, you know, have some theories about, but the oxygen levels and the pulse. How long has she been out unconsciously without no oxygen or no pulse? Because that can give some clues of what, of some of her thought process before she passed away, or that could possibly put some more pieces together to the puzzle. And then they also, another highlight was they tried to revive her with a shot, and then they rushed her to the hospital immediately with putting her on life support. But as time went by, her brain started going DEAD, and the family had already signed the do not resuscitate papers. So she had went into another cardiac arrest, and that's what led to her passing. So just from TMZ saying just that bit in that sentence, to me, I believe she passed away from a broken heart. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. All right, so now 2 days prior from her passing away was the award show, the Golden Globes, where the actor Austin, I forgot his last name, but I know his first name is Austin, had won the award for the Elvis movie that had came out not last summer, but the summer before last, in 2021. And again, when the announcement made of her passing, I went straight to her photos, because I was like, I don't watch the award shows, y'all, but when they mentioned her being at the award show and the guy getting an award for portraying her father in the movie and stuff like that, and I still gotta see it because it's on HBO Max, so I'm gonna definitely see that movie probably tonight or within this weekend. But yeah, that evening, just that little small clip that they played of him dedicating the award to the Presley family, and how grateful he was to have the privilege to be to portray Elvis Presley in this movie, and the list goes on. And you can see her doing this. You can see her doing this as a gesture, like I received that wholeheartedly, but at the same time, I'm still grieving. Okay. And not only that, because the Golden Globes happened on a Tuesday evening. So I'm going to go back 2 more days prior than that, which was her father's, Elvis Presley. His birthday was 2 days prior at than the Golden Globes award. So that was another thing. Like, that's a whole lot of energies warped up into that whole scenario there. You got the father's birthday on that Sunday. 2 more days is the Golden Globes, and then 2 more days after she passes away. You see that 2 synchronicity up in that thing? So yeah, I'm like, what the hell? So I know that was a whole lot of energy she was dealing with around that time, because you can tell she was a daddy's daughter at the end of the day, because that's how they explained it as we go further into the breakdown. So now TMZ had mentioned from a family member, and you're going to be hearing this a lot if you have watched it already, if you have not watched it already, from a family member. They said not only they didn't know how long she had been without oxygen or a pulse, but also she had plastic surgery 2 months ago, 2 months before the Golden Globes, because she wanted to look good for the award. So not only that, and also she took weight loss pills, and lost 40 to 50 pounds within 6 weeks. That is dangerous, yo. That is real dangerous. A lot of weight being shedded within that short time frame. That's like a month. That's like a month and some change. And then she also complained about abdominal pain. And that's the same thing that her father had expressed as well before his passing. Now, to follow through with that, that's what leads to them talking about Elvis Presley and the upbringing between him and Priscilla. So now they explain that her father had passed away, obviously from a heart attack, because of what the reports was giving us at the time. And at the same time, he passed away when she was 9 years old. Okay. And before she was escorted out, she actually saw the folks trying to revive her father from him being unconscious, right? And I'm like, oh, see, that's the kicker. And that's the thing that us adults gonna have to realize, is that you may think your children is not hearing or seeing anything, but they do. Okay. So with her being looking from the shadows, looking from looking from a distance or from afar of people trying to resuscitate her father so he can, gain some consciousness, and for him to not regain consciousness, and for somebody to look up and like, oh my gosh, she's here, and politely try to escort her out, that's already an imprinted picture in her brain. And that's exactly how the Scientology counselor had mentioned in the investigative report, was that with a child experiencing something like that, is like a forever picture in their mind, is basically them being frozen in time, because it's considered a traumatic event. Okay. And then not only that, her mother, Priscilla Presley, was a Scientologist. So she was in her belief system was within Scientology. So she enrolled Lisa Marie into the Scientology counseling so she can, be able to navigate her grieving because of the passing of her father. But it looks like it flipped on her, because the lifestyles between the lifestyles or the upbringing between Elvis and Priscilla was way different. Okay. When she was, because her parents had got divorced at the age of 5. So when she was with her father in LA, she was able to be free spirited and do what she wanted, get what she wanted, because her daddy, she's a daddy's girl. Meanwhile, on the flip side, while she's in Tennessee, her mom is the structured one. Okay, she wants to provide structure so her child wouldn't grow up being a spoiled brat per se. Okay, so yeah, that's what led, and then eventually that's when she was able to, oh wait, I got that whole mixed up. Okay, when the parents divorced at the age of 5, with her father, yes, she was able to be free spirited and be spoiled in Graceland. Okay, and then with her mom, she wanted to raise the child in structured environment when she's in LA. And that's crazy, because you'll think that's like the flip side, because LA is more of the free spirited, and when you're in Tennessee and Graceland when you're in Tennessee is like conservative. So it's weird, but anyways, that's how her upbringings were. So basically, Lisa Marie is growing up in two separate households, basically. One, she's able to be free spirited, whatever case may be, and the other is like structured and and I'm assuming a specific belief as well. So I can only imagine the duality and the confusion that she had when it comes to coming to her own as a woman, because once the parents divorce, of course that's a whole nother realm that you got to get adjusted to, because you've been adjusted for with a two-parent household for so long, and then all of a sudden they break off, and now you have to adjust to both living. So I'm gonna say, when it comes to her childhood, it seems like she grew up in a duality effect. Okay, she was able to be free spirited, but at the same time be conservative. Okay. Following with that, that's when further on down the line, when Priscilla was able to get full custody of Lisa Marie, then that's when things really start going downhill, to where she gets kicked out and her mother takes her to the Scientology church for them to handle her and get her in order, because she basically she came to her wits' end when it came to Lisa Marie. So now that she's in the Church of Scientology, and with them working with her to get her in order, per se, that's when she meets Danny, and they end up getting married, and that's when she's like 19 years old. So within 2 years of being in the church's custody, per se, or the guardianship under the Church of Scientology, she ends up marrying Danny, and they have 2 children. However, 3 years later, that's when they got divorced, and she marries Michael. So at the age of 26, per se, that's when she marries Michael Jackson, okay, the king of pop. And then a lot of people at that time, because social media was not present at that time, it was just magazines and the news, and probably a couple of magazine editorials, per se. But a lot of people didn't believe Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie's marriage like that, because it's like Michael Jackson was already portrayed as the wacko jacko, as they would call him back then, because he went from a melanated person with, mocha brown skin to a person in the lighter shade, to where he looks unrecognizable. But of course, Michael Jackson is the king of pop. Who doesn't know about Michael Jackson? Okay. But anyways, however, her and Michael Jackson continued on with their marriage, and they discussed the cringe-worthy kiss at the MTV Awards and the Diane Sawyer interview in 1995, when people wanted to know, do they have sex? Do they have human relations? Okay, do they have intercourse with each other? And Lisa was like, yeah, we do. Why y'all got to get all personal with it? But yeah, we do. But at the same time, Michael Jackson was wanting kids with Priscilla, and she didn't want kids at the time. And that's another thing. Okay, whenever you get into relationships with people that one person wants kids and the other person don't, it's more like, then why are y'all together? And then there are times where people are like, along the way, they'll end up changing their mind, but by the time they change their mind, you're going to be already over it and done and wanting to go on to the next type of thing. So That's probably another reason why people didn't believe it of their marriage. But it seems like they were. It seems like they love one another, because he's a Virgo and she's an Aquarius. So it seems like they love one another with the respect. Okay.